Alright, so Reflex 14T, a loaner truck. So everything is stock besides a new replacement spur gear. Um, my buddy's 5-scout receiver, which links up to my NB4. That's why I got an NB4 myself, because he runs one. I put on a Hobbywing ESC fan on the motor to keep it cool. And I run that via servo extension, just a short one, and I do electrical tape it because it's a janky one. So I just run that, and I just put on a ESC fan on the ESC I put in here, because the stock ESC is the Reedy SC300BL, and it has a very high LVC, which this battery, it's only 100 milliamps less than stock, and it likes to stop. This ESC likes to stop at exactly 3.8 volts a cell, and that's why I only get 8 minutes of runtime, maybe not even that. So I switched to the King Val ESC from my Mini B. It's basically like the same thing as the Reedy, but it's 35 amps. You can program it with the Rocket RC or Surpass program card, and I have the LVC set to 3.4 on slow, and you can do throttle, boost timing, turbo timing, everything like that. I had this in the Mini B with, which is right there, if it can focus, with a 2435 6100 kV a long time ago, and it was super fast in that truck. But now, since it's in 4-wheel drive 14 CL, was this a 2848 motor, I believe, or 380 4500 kV, whatever the stock motor is. Got that attached to S lipo, and I just put a spare motor fan on here. It's a Racing 25mm fan. Even though it's a motor fan and it's super loud and spins faster, I still had the Hobbywing ESC one from my old Max 10, which I had in Rustler back in the day. On here, double-sided tape down to the chassis, just because of the wire and how short the servo extension is. It is a bit slow, but it still works for the fan, and last time I tested it, it worked out for the motor heat, so that's good. Now, I just put this on the ESC, and I really haven't tested the new ESC yet, so yeah. And I have it down here, servo taped to the chassis, because the ESC mount broke at the track the other day. And this is just an off-brand cheaper battery. Only 100 milliamps less than the stock, which is 1600 stick pack, full stick pack. So shouldn't really notice a runtime difference. So hopefully this new, my personal ESC that I put in here fixes that LVC issue. But yeah, it's a little compact for a little truck like this. And with the fans and everything, and the ESC being in the back now, it's it feels a tiny bit heavier. And also on the body, I did do some cutouts. So that one's for the motor fan. Did this the other day for the ESC, same size as the other side. But since now I just put on this fan, shouldn't really need that cutout, but still, it is what it is. But just a quick show of the truck, and I'm going to later show on how loud it is. So yeah, I quickly drove it on the carpet track the other day, because I just fixed up the spur gear and it hasn't ran in 2 months. Testing it on the track, it does, with the King Val ESC, it does feel a lot more punchier than the Reedy, because obviously the Reedy, it is super soft on the throttle and braking, and you can't even program it. So, but before I did take it out, I did turn the ESC to LVC off, or NIM mode. So if I do put this back in, I'll see if it's better than what it was before. And oh yeah, the power switch also says Hobbywing. That is super funny. So yeah, this Reedy ESC, literally a rebranded Hobbywing, just says it on the bottom. and it's basically like a 16BL30 G1 quick run, and they just took out all the programming, so kind of sad, and they charge double the price for it, so that's a bit sad on Reedy's part. But on the track the other day, it felt super good. The stock tires, even though they're like 45% worn down, they still did pretty good. It's grippy, but traction roll city on black CRC carpet. Um, I really haven't tested it out at the clay track yet, so next month I'll plan to test it there if it's still running. Hopefully it is. And really, I just bash it, and it's a loaner truck, so yeah. And like I said, everything is stock besides my ESC, his receiver, my fans, battery, replacement spur gear, everything like that. I haven't bashed it since I put the ESC and fans in, so I'll test that once the rain gets out of here. And quick look at the wiring, if I haven't already. But this is how loud it is. This has interference issues with the chassis and the plug right there, but yeah, there we go. Now it's fun. So yeah, that is the 14T Reflex. Let's turn that off. And yeah, I had to put the ESC here because the battery wires on this were short, and I had to resolder it to a Dean's plug. And also the other day, I went in, took the ESC part, and soldered a new receiver wire onto the actual board because I had some signal issues. But I had this ESC for 2 years. It's seen a lot of racing, so, and a lot of abuse, so hopefully this fan will keep it cool because this ESC does like to get hot, even in the mini B with the 6100 kV motor. I don't really have anything else to talk about on this truck besides the on how hard it is to wrench on this thing and the motor mount. Motor mount, it's an odd design, and it's like the ridges of a coin. And yeah, that's the leading issue for stripping spur gears on this truck is because the motor mount shifts. Gear cover is 5 screws, and if you want to get into the center diff and take out the center diff, you have to remove the whole rear of the truck essentially. That's like 17, 20 screws. It's insane. So yeah, 8 minutes. Little review and sort of a rant on the 14T. So yeah, I'll post a bashing video later if I get any video, if I can. So yeah, that's the Associated Reflex 14T.